So film PR was important. That
PR, yeah, PR was always important. Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge and Raja Hindustani were bigger hits than Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. But on the media perception basis, why are a film? Because they also had a very strong media presence.
when so say an Akshay, when he says he doesn't want to do it, is it a one-on-one in your office that they come and say this is the problem, मैं नहीं करूँगा, or do
No,
they
there was nothing कि
no
मैं नहीं करूँगा.
confrontation?
There was no confrontation. It's just that we realized between ourselves that something had snapped. And when that happened, it was best. We never fought. We had no fight. Dosti is the title of the movie.
Yeah, I interview Mr. Taran Adarsh also for so many years, and he's been saying in every interview the industry is bleeding.
Taran is a very wise man, and wise. He comes from a family again of legacy of some very intelligent editors of magazines. I'd had a very bad experience with Sunny Deol.
Yeah.
So there were
He was going to be
there were financial issues that were involved.
Okay.
And I had
For
what
Janwar.
happens? Huh?
For Janwar.
For Janwar,
Yes. So, like I wanted to see Aankhon Ki Gustakiyan a couple of weeks ago. I didn't get a show. I finally मैं गेटी में गया एक अकेला बैठ के देखा.
Aankhon Ki Gustakiyan was very fortunate that it got a show in Gaiety. My movie, Andaaz 2, which was released last week, has got 16 shows in the entire Bombay city. This networked system that we have here, this cartel, they control the exhibition sector of the entire country. Hi, I'm Suneel Darshan, and you're watching this interview on Bollywood Hungama.
Hello and welcome to Bollywood Hungama. I'm Rohit Khilnani. Joining me today on our podcast is Mr. Suneel Darshan. Sir, thank you so much for giving me time.
My pleasure. Right.
I've been waiting to do this interview for a long time.
Thanks.
Right. So, you have just had a release. These are your posters. First question is, how was your experience? What would you like to tell us? Initial thoughts, first thoughts that come to your mind.
A filmmaker. I've been in this industry for ever since I was born.
Right.
And having been here, I've almost 45 years. I've been doing distribution, dabbled in every sphere: exhibition, distribution, production, direction, writing scripts. I don't think there's any sphere that I'm not. I wouldn't call myself a jack of all trades. I know some of my jobs though. Having done that, I feel that this whole journey has been a unique experience. The rides have been on different gears. The roads have been very bad sometimes, very smooth at other times. But my recent last decade or so that I would address it, I thought that was after, last 15 years I would put it rather. I saw a drastic transformation coming in the film industry. The emergence of the corporate scenario, I thought would be a great blessing. I thought the film industry, the Hindi film industry in particular, because that's where I belong to, I thought would grow in leaps and measures. Technologically, I thought they'd bring big money. We would have more money to make films, better equipment, better marketing provisions and stuff like that. And Indian cinema, which I through the 90s, second half of the 90s, I had experienced, it growing. The theatrical business was growing substantially in the international sector as well. And countries which you'd not even heard of, you'd realize the films were started releasing in those countries. So people were keen to watch Indian cinema. And somewhere around the end of that, the last century, I remember there were write-ups where they said that, I think it was Shekhar Kapoor's interview it was, where they said the next century belongs to the Southeast Asian countries and cinema. So it was, keeping all that in mind, I thought it was a great thing happening. Bhai, corporate aa rahe hain, and yes, they were here. UTV started initially, and yes, a couple of more companies, and they came in, and initially they didn't start as producers, so they came into the distribution acquisition sector, and they started acquiring content. फिर उसके बाद they gradually got into the production sphere, and and I thought by 2010 there was too much of a change in the way things were emerging. This whole picture, was emerging, was changing drastically. Digitization had come in, so that all these things should have been to the advantage of the filmmaker. Sadly, it was not so. Yes, there were 2 or 3 companies which were given that privilege, or maybe they were the first ones to actually jump. They were well publicized, well promoted, so they were the brand names representing Bollywood.
Right.
We belong to the Hindi film industry, so that difference always stayed, and there was emergence of newer filmmakers, and then I realized that a lot of cinema suddenly, not that before it was not so, but the reality of Hindi cinema business, became more perception oriented.
Yeah.
I recall I did Ek Rishta in 2001, right here, and the same year we had a Qadar, which was phenomenal, and there was a Lagan, which was good, very good actually, and then there was another movie that released called Dil Chahta Hai.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if we actually calculate, the business of Ek Rishta was much, much bigger than the business of Dil Chahta Hai. But the perception value of Dil Chahta Hai became so tremendous that, we actually got the audiences to start believing that that was the biggest hit of the year. So the perceptions became, that trend caught on, and filmmakers who were not really delivering commercial successes, but were hyped better, became were in the forefront, and they were the people who were being chased by these corporates because they were reading stories. They were coming from magazines and the information that was provided on
So
the
film PR was important. That
PR was always important, but that PR overdoing the PR game that started, don't forget. कुछ दिलवाले दुल्हनिया ले जाएंगे and Raja Hindustani were bigger hits than कुछ कुछ होता है. But on the media perception basis, कुछ कुछ होता है actually, which was a very good movie. I really thought Karnjar was a very, very good director. But on perception value, it was not. It was put on the same, and maybe there were places where Kuch Kuch Hota Hai was given us little precedence. Of course, not more than YRF film, because they also had a very strong media presence.
right. But this was, if they were pushed more and all, by who? By the press, by the media, by the publicity?
It was a collaborated effort between the press, the media,
Exhibitors.
and no, the exhibitors would not. They were not part of all these games.
Okay.
They never were, and they could not, because if they were a part of this game, today things would not have been so bad.
Right.
The exhibitors started by 2005. I thought, they actually once these corporates came in and they realized the kind of changes that had started coming in, they started retreating.
Right. Right. So at some point, did you and so many other filmmakers, you all were all friends, did you all realize कि ये PR और perception game में भी एक तो filmmaking करना है, which is a whole new job, उसके साथ ही एक PR game भी खेलना है? Did you all?
I unfortunately, and I till today, I believe that cinema is about content. Cinema about PR, ये जान लिया, देख लिया कि PR करने वालों को, I thought it was all that would be short-lived.
Temporary, yeah.
Yeah, very short-lived it ought to have been. Because सच्चाई यही सीखा था भाई, हमने कि सच्चाई जो होती है वो तो finally emerge होती ही है. But ये game जो sustenance का है, वो game change नहीं कर पाए. Or it's and that is the very crux and the reason why today, when we are actually meeting up and we are discussing the deplorable condition of the film industry,
true.
that is a lot to do with it.
So every quarterly or half yearly I interview Mr. Taran Adarsh also for so many years, and he's been saying in every interview the industry is bleeding. He explains also why. But sir, who is listening to us? Sun kaun raha hai?
Taran is a very wise man,
हाँ,
and wise. He comes from a family again of legacy of
yeah.
some very intelligent editors of magazines.
Gee, right. So, again, around this time when you're saying when film started doing 100 crore and this became a thing, 100 crore तो बनाना ही है. बच्चा बच्चा जानता था कि ये पिक्चर ने 100 crore बनाया. Nobody was asking कि कैसी है पिक्चर. ये पिक्चर ने 100 crore बनाया
नहीं
कि
नहीं
नहीं.
नहीं, वो 100 करोड़ क्या था? क्या वो ग्रॉस था? क्या
हाँ,
वो नेट था?
हाँ.
क्या वो सच था या वो झूठ था?
हम्म.
किसी को समझ ही नहीं आ रहा था. एक परसेप्शनल पोस्टर्स बनते थे,
हाँ, हाँ.
राइट है ना? वही हिट हिट हिट, पहले तो हिट होती थी, सुपर हिट होती थी,
हाँ. Silver
सक्सेसफुली
Jubilee,
एवरीवेयर,
Golden.
यू नो हाउ द
हाँ,
golden jubilees and
हाँ,
all. Then it became this figures,
हाँ.
that same age, that
Correct.
same zone,
हाँ.
2000s के बाद,
Right.
and this figures started,
हम्म.
and ये फिगर्स पूरे के पूरे परसेप्शनल फिगर्स थे. रियलिटी में होते तो प्लीज इनकम टैक्स किसने इतना भरा?
That's true.
So this, yes, the perception game went on. Seeing those perception games, the actors also chose to believe in that.
Correct. Yeah.
So their prices got escalated. Then they got down to understand that, bhai, there's a lot of money coming into the films. These guys coming and they need to corporates will need desperately to make films to sustain on those stock exchanges where they belong to.
Right.
तो उनसे वो पैसे जो थे वो whether they were reasonable or unreasonable, they managed to get them to pay.
Correct. Fair. Right.
Yeah, and that's when they became a little elusive to filmmakers.
Okay.
So the very actor who would be here in this office, he had built his way up
Yeah.
from here. Suddenly he also realized that it's more remunerative and more, he could have more control than the filmmaker.
Correct.
Because the actor became supreme.
Right. Yeah.
And so they all chose to, they believe what was not the reality.
Not the reality. Sir, you released so many films at that time. Today you have released this. What is the big difference? क्या वो एक फर्क है कि आज पिक्चर रिलीज करने में और पहले रिलीज करने में?
पहले फिल्म जब रिलीज करते थे ना तो उसमें एक सेंस, एक खुशी होती थी, एक इलेशन होता था कि हमारा हार्ड वर्क जो है उसको एक फ्री एनवायरनमेंट में फिल्म रिलीज हो रही थी. एक आई वुडंट से 100% फेयर, बट एक फेयर सिस्टम होता था फिर भी, जिसमें आपकी फिल्म का आपके उसके क्या बोलते हैं मोनेटाइजेशन का एक रिलेशनशिप होता था. अनफॉर्चुनेट वो भी सब चेंज होना शुरू हो गया. जो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन सिस्टम्स हैं उनकी जो फ्रीडम ऑफ डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन था, फ्रीडम ऑफ एग्जीबिशन था, तो एग्जीबिशन जो है वो कार्टलाइज हो गया विद दिस चेंज कमिंग इन. वो चेंज बहुत अच्छे थे क्योंकि वो अपग्रेडेड सिनेमाज अपग्रेड कर रहे थे. लेकिन वो भी सिनेमाज अनफॉर्चुनेटली वो भी कंट्रोल्स उसमें आ गए. तो कंट्रोल्स जो इतने ज़्यादा कंट्रोल्ड सिनेमा हो गए कि फॉर द फिल्म मेकर इट बिकेम नॉन बेनिफिशियल.
ओके. So how will it work if it's non-beneficial to the filmmaker?
Because what's happened is any business that has a monopolistic approach, वो business आज नहीं तो कल डूब जाता है.
Right.
And that's what I thought was happening. So a lot of, you see the filmmakers, all those a filmmaker called Rakesh Roshan, who has delivered I think 99% success ratio, has not made a film for the last how many years?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
It tells you all.
That's really true.
So the last film Rakesh Roshan directed was released, if I'm not wrong, in 2013. And since then he never made a film himself.
Right. That's true. I met Rakesh ji and I asked him this, and I asked him कि आप क्रिश 4 क्यों नहीं बना रहे हो? He said कितने की बनाऊं और किससे पैसे लूं और वो पैसे रिटर्न कभी आएंगे कि नहीं? He was scared कि today I can't make it less than 500 crore.
Yeah. क्या है? it pie करके एक, you know,
जी.
you build a thing and then
Yeah.
one film, you know, suddenly if you lose everything
Yeah.
off,
Right.
nobody wants to do that at 75 or 76. You know.
Right, right. So true. Yeah. So there was, I have to say, there was a big discipline in all of you. You know, you all watched each other's movies. You all supported each other. Today, I don't see this at all.
Yeah, because that interpersonal relationship factor, it's very superficial in the film industry. Because क्या हो गया है, actors or stars are scarce,
Right.
and there are too many people wanting to dabble in filmmaking.
Yeah.
I wish they'd all decided, you know, all the filmmakers decided to, you know, create stars. So you would have had
More and more
50 heroes and 50 or 100 heroines.
Yeah.
And you know, you everyone would have an opportunity
Yeah.
कि भाई मैं ये नहीं मिलता भाई इसके साथ
इसके
बनाता
साथ,
हूँ, उसके साथ बनाता हूँ. लेकिन वो कंसंट्रेशन जो है वो आप अगर देखें 2005 से लेके 2000 आई थिंक ऑलमोस्ट टिल वेरी रिसेंटली, यू नो, वो वही हीरो चले आ रहे हैं
Right.
जो तब थे 90s के थे. वो टॉप मार्की पे तो टॉप वही रह गए, यू नो. वही
Right.
जैसे 80s में, राइट इन द बिगनिंग ऑफ 80s सनी देओल अनिल कपूर आए थे.
Yeah. हाँ.
और हाँ, और उसके बाद शाहरुख, आमिर, सलमान आए. अर्ली 90s में अक्षय कुमार, अजय देवगन आए. तो 35 years later भी वही हीरो रह गए
It's
हैं,
true.
you
Yeah.
know.
So true. Yeah.
So when you do the counting, when you count, you actually you count all these people in
Yeah.
your list. But जो newer boys हैं, वो तो पहले ही इतने exclusive हो जाते हैं.
Correct. Yeah.
You know, they're so choosy. गिरने के डर से इंसान को चलना नहीं छोड़ देना चाहिए.
बिल्कुल. Yeah.
So you and they can't guarantee successes anyway.
Nobody can. Yeah.
Nobody can. You can only try doing your best. I feel actors need to पहले, you know, actors used to work.
Yeah.
Now they also work.
Right, right. So what's the say when you released your film now, what is the big challenge that you faced?
Andaaz 2, I decided, I said, filmmaker can't give up. So we start somewhere in the COVID phase when I started writing scripts. I said, पता नहीं सिनेमा लास्ट करता है तो कि नहीं करता. So I wrote some scripts for OTT.
Okay.
I wrote some few scripts for films. And that 3 years I had 20, 21, 22, and that period. And I said, पता नहीं देखो कहाँ बनाऊँ. उनमें से ऐसे चलो एक कोशिश करते हैं. It's been quite some time since I made a movie. तो एक सब्जेक्ट ऐसा लगा मुझे कि भाई ये feasible है, इसमें characters interesting हैं, and strangely I felt, you know, I could use my title Andaaz 2 for it. And तो music script लिखा हुआ था. Music जो था वो मेरे पास नदीम का already, you know, I have a certain arrangement with him where I have the music first, access to his music which I can employ whenever I feel like. तो वो music use कर लिया, गाने record कर लिए, जितने अच्छे singers थे. I have all of them singing in the film. There was Neeraj Sridhar and Shan. There's Palak Muchal and Assis Kaur, and there's Javed Ali, there's Amit Mishra, there's Muhammad Irfan, and there's Shadab. All these people, I thought I put up a good audio track because Hindi cinema was about, you know, music was very intrinsic.
Correct.
To cinema, and to us especially, it definitely has been, to me always.
Yeah.
Put this movie, and I said, "Chalo, I have to cast this movie. I'm going to cast freshers here because maybe, you know, I was trying to do that earlier. For the last decade, I tried making 2 movies freshers. Did not work for me.
Right.
But I still insist I'll keep working with
So
them.
why? Because you know, with your name, you can get any star. Why did you want freshers?
I wanted freshers.
Okay.
I did. It was just not approaching stars. I felt the star system had. There was a sense of. I think the producers had corrupted the stars.
Right.
Or rather, not just the producers, the entire corporate structure, you know. People who are the pressures in the corporates to deliver X amount of turnovers. So they need those stars to, you know, so they have to push their way through.
Correct.
And all stuff like that. They actually had handed over the entire film industry का बेटन ही स्टार के हाथ में पकड़ा दिया है. अरे भाई ये तो देखो कि वो हीरोज ने जब खुद प्रोड्यूस डायरेक्ट की होती है फिल्में, स्पेशली जब डायरेक्ट की, वो फिल्में तो फ्लॉप हो जाती हैं.
True. Yeah.
right?
True, yeah.
तो जो आदमी cinema, we just put too much of I would weight on the star's shoulder also,
Right, fair enough.
and the star started feeling that it's me and me and me alone.
In fact, when you worked with all of them, they were all starting out only. They were
Yes,
not.
each
Yeah,
of them I've
yeah.
worked with, and
Akshay,
except
Priyanka.
for one, and Mr. Bachchan, who
Yeah.
was I worked with when he was,
Yeah.
starting out with his second phase.
Right. Yeah.
Phenomenal actor, disciplined. He gave, he was one person who was exceptional. Akshay Kumar was very good. Akshay Kumar to never made me feel that I was working with a star until
This was
until
2000.
times changed. Yeah, 1998 is the first time I interacted with them. 99 I delivered Janwar.
Right.
And then every year I had
Right.
one movie
Correct.
coming up.
Ek Rishta was 2001.
2002, there's Haan Maine Pyar Kiya, 2000, there's Talash in between, there's Andaaz in 2003, 2004 I didn't have a film because I had a backache problem, and 2005 I had Barsat, and I had Dosti.
Right.
Barsat he was not there, sorry. He was there in Barsat, and I had to replace him with Bobby Deol. And 2006 I had Mere Jeevan Saathi.
Mere Jeevan Saathi was 2000, which was shot earlier.
Yeah, but short, yeah.
Right.
In that span only,
Okay.
that's, yeah.
Okay. Wow. So you had them back to back.
Yeah, 7 of them there. Then, in the meanwhile, because Akshay had to be replaced with Bobby Deol and Mere Jeevan Saathi, so I had a contract with Bobby Deol for 3 movies, and because I'd had a very bad experience with Sunny Deol.
Yeah.
So there were
He was going to be
there were financial issues that were involved.
Okay.
And I had
for
what
Janwar.
happens? Huh?
For Janwar.
For Janwar,
Yes.
yeah. It was not. It was not for Janwar actually. The financial issues related to Ajay.
Okay.
Where he had to pay me. He acquired some rights for distribution for overseas, and then he turned up saying that I have no, because it's Christmas time, so the banks in UK are shut, and I'll definitely make the payment to you later. And when the opportunity came, he said, "Sorry, I don't have the money with you, but I intend to pay you, and please help me." And he was starting a movie at that point called London with Gurinder Chadha.
Right.
And he requested me, he said, you've been the closest friend I have and the closest filmmaker, and I just have great respect. And I had supported him a lot in this movie called Barsat that he had produced also there. I think if he doesn't have bad memory, then he should remember.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, nothing of... and I kept supporting him and kept helping him all the way. And one day, I got shocked to learn that, that I went to him with the script. He was supposed to do my movie.
Correct.
After that. I'll compensate you with the movie. He said, I had never asked him to do a movie for me. After I had 3 movies in 10 years, I thought it was too slow a pace to work with for me.
Right.
For me, I had other offers coming, so there's no issues. It didn't happen.
So he said no to that?
No, he told me that for Janwar, he said he was not comfortable with the subject, and he wanted me to work more. I said this is a lie. There's something suspicious. And then after that, certain untoward incidents happened, which got me zapped and shocked. And that is where we decided that we should not work together. But definitely my money would be paid. And he promised me, assured me is the right word I'll use, that he would return the money and he would return it with whatever the interests and would be. But that day never ever came.
Right.
Thereafter, the matter went to the courts.
Okay.
Retired Chief Justice of India, then Mr. Barucha, was our sole arbitrator with Mr. Justice Patel, who was a very powerful judge, was the lawyer then for Sunny Deol. And after there was another settlement that happened. He went and he told the courts that he could not, he didn't have the liquidity to pay me, so he would want to do a film with me again. And I, much against my wishes, the judge insisted, Mr. Barucha insisted that this is the best way to solve this. And I gave in to it. And no, after that, I put the subject. There were some terms and conditions. He flouted them. And only to learn at the end of 1 year of my effort and my money that went into that project, I got to learn that, the intentions are suspect.
Right.
So I had to then walk out of the thing, then move to another court, and now the matter is in a double bench court and it's pending.
You went with the film offer and you reached the court. That's more hurtful than financial loss.
Hurtful was the fact that Sunny Deol's association with me starts uh, before he became an actor.
Okay.
So I don't want to tom my
Sure.
contribution to Betab or thereafter,
Hmm.
because as a distributor also I was
Right.
distributing, I was supporting. I believed in Sunny Deol. So when you put someone on a pedestal and that image falls, it is more than just for a momentary loss.
Right.
But I couldn't continue.
This was your first time someone close and someone you knew was doing this in business?
Yes, it was unbelievable.
I can imagine. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can imagine. Then came Ajay Devgan.
Yeah, then that was in
That was
Janwar,
in Janwar.
and we almost
Yeah.
locked. Uh, it was almost locked, and there was Sunday in between. But then there's many a slip between the cup and the lip. तो Sunday बीच में slip आ गया. और उस दिन Akshay Kumar called me and
Okay.
wanted to meet up, and we met up immediately. And when I saw him, I said, "God, this guy is really gorgeous.
Huh.
Good looking."
Yeah,
His
yes.
reputation was that he was very disciplined. That went totally in his favor. I thought I could make a film with him, definitely for sure. My only problem was that he had 13 or 14 flops by then.
Yeah.
So he was not saleable. An actor, however, star, however good, he was not an actor. It's not known to be an actor also. And I had this role which was all histrionics and performance. Janwar was that. So I said, chalo.
How did you think of taking a chance if he had had that string of flops? You thought,
I was willing to pick this challenge because I believed in my own abilities.
you knew your subject, you knew
I
your
knew
film.
because written by me.
Correct.
So I knew my subject, I knew my prowess. I may not have been media's darling, but I've made successful films.
Right. No, of course. And then then there was string of films with Akshay Kumar.
Yes, then 7 years and 7 films.
Seven. That's a lot of work you all did together.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then one day there was an incident because of which I had to replace him with Bobby Deol. So replacing him with Bobby Deol was a very strange thing to happen because I had such a very bad relationship with Sunny Deol at that point of time.
Right.
But there was Mr. Bhag Singh, who was the secretary of Mr. Dharmendra earlier. Then Sunny Deol, when Sunny Deol took off, and at this point he was handling Bobby's work.
Oh my God. Okay.
And he spoke to me and he told me that Bobby would like to work. And I said, but with such a much, how do you trust
Yeah.
these
Exactly.
people?
Correct. Same.
So he said, I'll assure you. And whatever I said, so if I give you a document to sign, an agreement where I just protect my interests, would you this thing it? He said, yeah, we would do it.
Barsat
And-
ke liye.
Yeah, for Barsat. And that agreement was done and Bobby signed it. And not only signed it, he lived up to the expectations of the document.
Wow. That's so. Yeah.
Yes.
That's good to know.
So it was Barsat. He was not supposed to work in any film in between till he finished my movies.
Okay.
So we did 3 films at a go: Barsat, Dosti, and Shakalaka Boom Boom.
Okay. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't think we had any disturbance in our relationship.
But Barsat started with Akshay being in it.
Yeah, I shot the film with
Right.
Akshay. Akshay and
Yeah.
Priyanka, we had done one set.
One set and yeah.
And a song in it.
Right.
And thereafter, unfortunately, we couldn't continue to work. Yeah, because for no fault of mine.
Right.
Which disturbed me,
Right.
to be honest, because the relationship was too close.
Yeah. The 6, 7 films together.
And with an assurance from Akshay Kumar at a point, because there was a point in which there was one very big upcoming star who wanted to,
Yeah.
join me, and
Correct.
then I was producing another film with a very, very, very big star who wanted to be a part of that movie.
Correct. Yeah. I
And
know
for me,
that,
it was no. Akshay had to be a part of everything.
Isn't that actually great space for an actor to be? Ki, this filmmaker is my safe space.
And who's delivering success?
Yeah,
Who's delivering
exactly.
success?
Yeah,
But what
yeah.
happens is selective amnesia. They suffer.
Right. Is it a star thing? Ki ultimately काम हो गया, then they move on.
I don't mind that. I'll tell you honestly, I don't regret that. It's just the way you move on. No?
It's the way.
That's what disturbs you.
Right.
I remember I have in my career I had seen Mr. Prakash Mehra and Mr. Bachchan's
Yeah.
relationship because we were distributors of of all Prakash Mehra's movies and almost all of Amitabh Bachchan's movies also in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s.
Right. So please, for the younger audience, can you explain what was his relationship between Prakash Mehra and Amitabh Bachchan? What is it like?
See that Prakash Amitji was he was a relative newcomer who had had one successful movie which the success of which was given to Rajesh Khanna, which was Anand.
Yes.
Then a string of unsuccessful films, and the film industry was rejecting him, had rejected him. Fortunately, that risk of making Zanjeer, maybe because he didn't get another star, and
Right.
he worked with Amitji on Zanjeer, and Zanjeer created the angry young man that
totally.
we've idolized for so many years. And then they worked together for several years. Every movie was a blockbuster till a point where the star becomes bigger than the filmmaker.
Right.
And that's where the filmmaker could not adapt to those circumstances. And well, that's where their relationship. But the beauty of Amitji was, I remember when Prakashji passed away, Amitji, Jayaji, and the kids were there all through, to pay the obeisance, and I could genuinely see that regret in them. That was the quality of that man.
Right. I remember that Prakash ji was getting honored and Amitabh Bachchan was supposed to come. He was literally like 2 minutes late. I think he's never late, but he was too. He ran inside the hotel and the whole media and everybody was seeing him running to make it. And he said, sir, very sorry, मुझे 2 minutes late हो गया.
Yes, that's what Amitabh Bachchan ji was.
Yeah.
I have experienced that with him
You've also
once.
experienced that.
Yes.
Wow. So say an Akshay, when he says he doesn't want to do it, is it a one-on-one in your office that they come and say this is the problem, मैं नहीं करूँगा, or
No, there was nothing.
No
मैं नहीं करूँगा.
confrontation.
There was no confrontation. It's just that we realized between ourselves that something had snapped. And when that happened, it was best. We never fought. We had no fight. We were together till a point, and Dosti suffered. I felt that what an iconic thing. Dosti is the title of the movie, and for which Akshay Kumar had was required for 60 days. I was facing difficulty in the communication and the process of working. So I recall that I finished Akshay Kumar's work in 24 days, and there was one song that I need to shoot with him, Balance, for which he could not come back from Canada, and we had the set on and all, so I had to shoot without him.
So you were supposed to get 60 days, you got only 24 days.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the person who
gave back to back.
No, it was not about him giving. Who he said, who he had promised. I didn't ask him for a promise that he would do 100 movies with me, and I had to promise him that yes, I will do 100 films with him.
Right.
So that's how it is. You don't have to take everything at face.
Correct.
I don't mind. I'll tell you, even today, I have no grudge. I don't have any hurt in that sense with Akshay Kumar. He's a practical person, and I mean, I just laugh about everything about it. I just laugh. In fact, if you realize all my interviews about him, I put in a little bit of namak mirchi to only make it sound interesting and keep Akshay Kumar,
right.
He's a sweet fellow.
Sure, you all had a great run. Sir, tell me about Priyanka Chopra. She was new. How did you get introduced to her? Because today Priyanka Chopra is a big Hollywood name. She sits at Oscar Awards and Golden Globe Awards.
Yeah. Wonderful. She was right in this office. One day I was sitting in my chamber and I got a call from the reception that Prakash Jaju was here, and they knew him, and
a manager. Yeah.
So he came in and he wanted to meet me. I said, "भेज दो ऊपर, इससे कोई लड़की है साथ में, उसको भेज दो." And they came in, and Prakash with this girl introduced Priyanka as Priyanka Chopra, Miss World है, ऐसे करके. So good, sit down. So it was Andaaz was being planned at that point of time. Lara had already been signed to cast another girl.
Right.
A lot of every heroine wanted to do Andaaz because they wanted to work with us.
Yeah.
It was like that.
Yeah.
So I said, "Bhai, theek hai," and said, "Baithiye." Offered them a chair. Started talking to her. Said, "Let me." Conventionally, I thought she was, a conventional-looking heroine.
Okay.
I thought she was. Okay, a bit of a nose problem there and stuff there, and the color. She was more of a dark brownish girl, but she had expressive eyes and a beautiful voice.
Right.
So and an intelligent mind.
Right.
Her intelligence is unimaginable. She comes from very intelligent parents. That genetics of her is very strong there. So 15 minutes into the conversation, I said, "Hey, she reminds me of someone. This is Rekha happening." Because I knew Rekha ji very well because Dr. Pandey and my family associations, stuff like that. I said, "Ye to, I have this thing." And I remember going and talking to my team, the DOP and everyone, Akshay and all. I said, "Ye to, don't underestimate this girl. Everyone's, all for Lara." I said, "Yeah, definitely Lara has her own place, her own dignity. But this is Rekha coming. Watch out."
Right.
And she was nice, wonderful working through the first film.
Right. So, what was conventional heroine at that time? What was the ideal, perfect your audience wanted to see?
Pretty girl, good image, a little modernity to her. Could be
Okay.
very traditional also.
Right. Were we
Sridevi's
obsessed
and
with fair skin also?
Sridevi's and Madhuri's had happened.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, Karishma Kapoor had come and Kajol was already there.
Okay.
In fact, she was
Yeah.
supposed to Janwar and she couldn't do the film for the second role. Karishma and Kajol was supposed to be in the film and Ajay was there. And no, and then I thought Priyanka and Lara both were not conventional heroines. They weren't that beautiful girls. These were smart girls, intelligent minds, and very dynamic.
Right. Right. So there was a huge demand from the audience, say like a Karishma who's fair, light eyes. That was traditional heroine material.
Yeah, Karishma was absolute. Kareena Kapoor was the one actually.
True,
Yeah, so
right.
she was she's been a favorite.
Right. So, say when you all have shot something and then then you have to tell your actress also that now the hero is changing. Are they difficult or do they, because they are new, they accept it?
There was so much, everyone was so involved in that occurrence, that
Correct.
situation that had happened at that point of time. But for me, it was I had a choice. I could have said, okay, fine. Heroine change kar deta hu. Aap rahiyega and stuff like that.
Correct.
But I felt, you have to be more responsible.
Right.
She may not have to be as responsible, but you owe that responsibility to me.
Right.
And that was where I felt I don't blame her, so I think I have to continue with her.
Right. So you actually took a bigger chance by sticking to your actress and letting the actor go.
Yeah, I thought I did so.
So you wanted to do the right thing.
I just thought that was right. That was right to make a good film.
To make a good film.
Yeah.
Right. But that you also risking that yours and Akshay's string of that could go ahead, which could come into an end if you don't change the actress.
I didn't consider so much. I just felt that it was I thought that actor has to be more responsible.
More responsible. Fair enough. Right. So when you were making all these, there was Rakesh Roshan ji and Subhash Ghai ji. Were you all rivals? Were you all friends? Were you all in between somewhere?
Rakesh ji, I'm much younger to Rakesh and Subhash ji. I'm much.
Right.
I'm a generation younger.
Right. Correct. But were you all would you go to Rakesh ji for advice? Would you go to Subhash ji for advice? We were senior filmmakers, or was there a rivalry among filmmakers, or did you all talk to each other?
I was a schoolboy when they were making films. Yeah.
Right.
And Rakesh is great fun.
Right.
I've known him, and Subhash ji also. Subhash ji I've always respected. I respect Subhash ji for his films, definitely. But more than that, I respect for one factor.
Okay.
That he came up with an institute to train newcomers. I thought Whistling Woods, when he went through all that turmoil and turbulence and getting that plot going and, West End State stuck to his guns and finally emerged a winner. So I thought Subhash ji, that was that one day when I really congratulated him. I thought that was that heroic moment for him.
Right. So did you see anyone as your competition who made films like you, who worked with actors who you worked with, who at that time would be
I didn't have competitors. I thought they were all contemporaries. That's it.
okay?
So there was, I mean, they were all there. Raj Kapoor was there.
Yes, of course. Huh?
Uh, Vipul had come in
Yeah,
also around the same,
correct.
much
Huh.
little later than me, but he was there by then. Akshay Kumar was there, Shah,
Hmm.
and for me, I thought I was making films from ever and ever
Correct.
because I'd
Yeah.
been a part of the industry.
True. True. So today, being a part of the industry, when it comes to acting, log छुपाना ही चाहते हैं because this whole nepotism debate has come. What do you think of it? What is your take when you read so much कि these actors get flack because they are someone's son, someone's daughter. Maybe they can't act. That is also they get a chance again and again.
This is one topic, this nepotism issue
Huh.
is something that I don't advocate.
Okay.
I feel every person, whether he's a part of the film industry or not a part of the industry, we need to support them if we find potential in them.
If there's potential.
When I signed Akshay Kumar, he was not a part of the industry.
True, he was not.
Right?
Yeah.
But I decided to put my, my support, back him at that point when the industry was not wanting to back him.
Correct. Yeah.
I believed in him. So that's how it was.
Right. So has OTT platforms, have they benefited the industry, or you think they've only benefited the audience who can now sit and watch with a remote control?
Technology we can't challenge.
Okay.
Technology is there to stay. So any filmmaker who feels that, I tried resisting, I'll tell you, I wouldn't sell my satellite rights earlier.
Okay.
Because I always felt that satellite अगर free में film मिलेगी तो लोग पैसे दे के सिनेमा हॉल में क्यों देखेंगे और सिनेमा हॉल में टिकट नहीं खरीदेंगे सिनेमा हॉल हमारे बंद हो जाएंगे. So that loyalty factor I had. So for the first 15, 20 years, 25 years, I never sold my rights of my films. So much so that I only sold my rights in 2015. For the first time, when I realized I was fighting a hopeless battle.
Right.
Technology was there, I had come to stay, it had taken over. And now OTT coming in, always a pleasure. It's just that I could be sounding offensive, but if you take me the right spirit, I feel you're making content for India and Indians worldwide. So your content needs to relate to India and Indians.
Fair enough.
What happens is all the people sitting in those high-powered chairs are either educated either from LA film schools or New York film schools or London film schools or film schools, wherever. Even India now today, the film schools, which are imparting studies vis-a-vis Hollywood.
Right.
But we need to make Hindi cinema. We need to our culture. So rather than delving into technology, rather delve into finding subjects, finding scripts which relate to your country.
Yeah, that's so true what you're saying, because even this year, if we see the two films that have worked are Chhawa, which is our story, and Sayara, which is an again Indian love story with two actors from your filmmaker from here who's your cousin only. So, but what you're saying is so right. But nobody's making these kind of films. They're just अभी दो गिनने में आती है.
Yeah, unfortunately, no. मैंने तो जो बनाई
आपने
है
तो बनाया, हाँ.
अंदाज टू ये हिंदुस्तानी फिल्म है. ये हमारे मिडिल क्लास प्रॉब्लम्स हैं जो my sensibilities are middle class for sure. And मैं फील करता हूँ ये सीरियस जेन्युइन प्रॉब्लम्स हमारी सोसाइटी के हैं, हमारे फैमिलीज के हैं. हम ओरिएंटल्स हैं, हम वेस्टर्न सिविलाइजेशन से अलग लोग होते थे. अभी अब आज है कि नहीं मुझे नहीं पता क्या सिचुएशन है, बट हम वी बिलोंग टू दैट ओरिएंटल कम्युनिटी एंड our cinema has to be different.
It has to be different. That's really.
Now, I watched some movies. I think Karan Johar had made in between, which was a remake of some Korean movie and stuff like that.
Yeah, Kill. Oh no.
Kill. Yeah. I personally thought technically brilliant it must be and everything, but the sensibilities were not ours. Today even today we believe in the institution of family. There is our culture comes with its own parameters that we build around us, and we can't alienate that just because those films may work in a few No, they make good conversation, number one, and they make good columns.
Right, fair enough. Right, in fact, what you're talking is, I interviewed Mr. Suraj Barjatia just last week.
Oh.
He was talking about exactly that, you know, I want to stick to my roots. I want to stick to, every time I've tried to delve, it has not worked for me. So, but कोई ये फिल्म बना ही नहीं रहा है आजकल. शादी, मामा, चाचा, ये सब कोई फिल्म बना ही नहीं रहा है.
या तो मैं खुद सूरज जी के सिनेमा को बहुत मैंने पसंद किया है हमेशा, जब उन्होंने अच्छी फिल्म बनाई. लेकिन मैं भी फील करता हूँ कि वो उनका सिनेमा जो है वो बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है आज की डेट में टेलीविजन
टीवी पे.
टेलीविजन पे क्यों चल रहा है? क्यों चल रहा है कि जो मासेस है हमारे देश के, वी आर कंट्री ऑफ 140 करोड़ पीपल, उसमें 100 करोड़ पीपल तो वो है जो वो मास है, राइट है, तो उससे आइडेंटिफाई कर रहे, इससे चल रहा है. और 40 करोड़ में से जो सिनेमा जा रहे हैं वो 10 करोड़ के लेयर में से ही है. No movie has been watched by over 10 crore people. So they belong to that segment. You know? So we are not making films. Can you imagine a Sholay in today's times? It would have done a business of maybe, you know, something with the Americans would get zapped with figures. Thousands of crores.
Thousands of crores.
But that is not to be, because our entire structuring of our exhibition sector, the entire structuring of our distribution sector today, the monopolizations that have come in here, they need to be corrected for their own benefits.
Then people will go. So, but going to a cinema, I mean, you are talking about that side, I'll talk about my side. Going to a cinema is expensive. You know, buying one popcorn is $450, $500. If I take a family, I spend $5,000 for one movie.
So we need to make those corrections. The problem is producers associations, directors associations, they've all been chaired by lackeys. You know, they have to conform to the powers. You need even the government bodies that we have today. They are also somewhere subjected to these, the big boys, you know, to their word, diktats.
Diktats, correct. Fair enough. Right. So another issue that this industry is facing big time is, you tell me, इनफैक्ट मैं लोगों को बताना चाहूँगा, मैंने कल सुनील दर्शन जी को डायरेक्टली मैसेज किया और आज हम यहाँ पर हैं. किसी से बात नहीं की, डायरेक्टली बात की. सर, आजकल जो एक्टर्स नरेशन के लिए जाते हैं, बहुत सारे मैनेजर्स साथ में जाते हैं, एजेंट्स साथ में जाते हैं, सब रूम में साथ में स्क्रिप्ट सुनते हैं. वुड यू बी कंफर्टेबल विद दैट?
इससे मैं नए एक्टर्स क्रिएट करना चाह रहा हूँ.
फेयर इनफ.
शायद वो कुछ मुझसे सीखें और शायद मेरी तालीम इंडस्ट्री के काम आए, ये कोशिश कर रहा हूँ. आई वंडर व्हाई आदित्य चोपड़ा, करण जौहर ऐसा क्यों नहीं कर रहे? वो तो मुझसे बहुत बड़े हैं, यू नो, इन देयर स्टेचर, इन देयर you know, the structuring of their companies that they have done. Shares बेच चुके हैं करण जौहर, तो कितना कौत. I just feel that it's time that all of us, each one of us who owes to pay back this industry, needs to bring about a correction. And we need to fight for the Hindi film industry to survive.
Fair enough, yeah. So even Karan was asked this question at a press conference. He also criticized the star system and said that stars have to understand who is going to start this, which side will start. Stars बोल रहे हैं हमारे घर पे कोई पैसे लेके आ रहा है तो हम ले रहे हैं, जितने भी पैसे लोग दे रहे हैं, 100 करोड़ भी दे रहे हैं एक एक्टर को मूवी के लिए. Where will this stop? Should producers stop giving or should actors stop taking?
No, I don't think. If the producer finds his economics going right and he wants to pay, who are you and I to stop him? Karan Johar, all that, a man has experience, who has devoted so much of time to this film industry, studied, researched, has a kind of exposure that none others, you know, we still maybe in our little cocoons. He's actually been the, what do you call it, you know, the controller of the industry for quite a few years in between. Not now, but in between he was actually doing that. So I think he is the person who needs to, if he's just, see, he's a man, when he makes a film himself, he makes exceptionally good films.
Yeah.
So similarly, I wish that guy, he corrects, you know, he brings about the required correction that the industry today needs.
Right.
He's the intelligence and the ability.
Right. So actors today who don't even have their first release or have had one release, they are very famous. They are famous because of paparazzi. They are famous on Instagram. They have brand endorsements. So पहले क्या होता था कि एक्टिंग करो फिर फेम आएगा, अब पहले फेम आ रहा है फिर एक्टिंग आती है नहीं आती, वी डोंट नो.
No, but that's okay. If that's okay. That's perfectly all right. If they get their fame and if they're monetizing their fame, there's nothing wrong in that.
Okay.
But when they get down to the process of doing a film, they need to realize how mature they are, how seasoned they are, and the format of filmmaking essentially requires a captain
Right.
of a ship,
Right.
and they need to learn to respect the director. Because the director eventually is the man who's going to call the shots.
Right.
If that happens, then I think films will be much better.
Right. So, like I wanted to see Aankhon Ki Gustakhia a couple of weeks ago. I didn't get a show. मैं गेटी में गया, एक अकेले बैठ के देखा, बिकॉज ऐसा टाइम था कोई नहीं आएगा. Why does this happen to, like this happens very, I'm seeing very regularly to films.
Aankhon Ki Gustakhia was very fortunate that it got a show in Gaiety. My movie, Andaaz 2, which was released last week, has got 16 shows in the entire Bombay city, where 35 hoardings have been put up on the street, on the roads, and all the cinemas, irrespective of where the film was going to put up or not, had a hoarding put up that this film is going to come. Till Wednesday night or Thursday morning, we have no idea, we don't know where the film is going to be released, which cinema hall, and how many shows we are going to get. We have no knowledge. And forget in the Bombay, this system, this networked system that we have here, this cartel, they control the exhibition sector of the entire country. So what does one do with it?
So 35 hoardings and 16 theaters.
16 theaters, 16 shows.
16 shows only, yeah.
I mean, can you imagine how it was, maybe it was intentional, maybe they wanted, because I speak honestly, because I call a spade a spade.
You do, yeah, you do.
Because
You
anyone who
always
harms my industry is not my friend. And the system here has become so bad. We don't have producer associations are not strong. The government is not supporting us right. Often people criticize some of the government lobbies, which try to take stern steps like imposing a 200 rupee barrier as in Karnataka.
Correct.
I think that's very important, so that every person can go and watch a movie. In Hyderabad, they have a class, the front class even today is on a very purchasable value. So that, and it's very essential. Even AMB cinemas there, they may have higher rates up, but they have an audience, they have a space, a zone for category for every buyer of every price.
Right. So in fact, जब भी ये ऑफर आती है 99 की, आती रहती है बीच बीच में, बहुत चलती है फिल्म्स. So I mean that's a big message going out to the exhibitors, na?
Definitely. If you get money, things are right value. But more than that, I feel not just that. Cinema is a cinema hall. That auditorium you're going to is a cinema hall. It's not a refreshment zone or a cafeteria.
Yeah, right.
Today we are going. The business is being run for a cafeteria, not for the theater, for the films.
Correct.
And that is where the film industry has lost.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. But when I talk to them, they say we have to pay for AC, we have to pay for staff, so that's why the popcorn has to be expensive. Everyone is just blaming each other here.
It's just everyone has a reply to everything.
So one more thing I want to bring up with you is, पहले you tell me if this used to happen and you have ever done something like this. आजकल पिक्चर नहीं भी चलती है, the message goes out on social media and paparazzi, 300 crore हो गया, 200 crore हो गया, 500 crore हो गया. Is this how to believe? Firstly, ये हुआ कि नहीं?
This is only just a media campaign. According to me, they want to sell a story. पहले producers were individuals. Now the producers belong, they have stock responsibilities, share markets playing for those companies. So they need to create perceptions.
Right.
And it's not the producer, it's those companies, who have acquired the content from them. So these stories are told for to serve their ends.
Right. Sir, पहले ऐसा होता था कि पहले could a producer lie and say मेरी picture hit है?
हिट तो बोल सकते थे,
Okay.
लेकिन इंडस्ट्री भी जानती थी
सब
और
जानते
ऑडियंस भी जानती थी कि हिट है कि नहीं हिट है। अभी क्या हो गया है कि इतना परसेप्शन गेम हो गया है पूरा का पूरा, जो दिखता है वो बिकता है, काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग इट्स बिकम, तो आज कोई भी झूठ बोला जा सकता है, और जो झूठ इतने 2 लाख बार बोलो तो झूठ सच हो जाता है।
Right.
जस्ट स्क्रीम इट लाउड।
Scream it loud. You never got attracted to this kind of thing कि यार let's give a perception कि it's a hit. It's such an attractive and hardly costs
I'll
anything.
tell you what, I was not very fortunate to have the support of media, firstly. Secondly, my films that worked, they would work genuinely. Whether it was a Lutere, or whether it was a Ajay, or whether it was a Janwar, or it was an Andaaz, they worked. So they worked. So even if people, I never got more than 1 star for any film of mine. Never. And you know the reason why. And I didn't bother. Even the trade pundits that we talk of, they were very, very generous to me that they gave me 1 star. And I was happy. I said, no problems. I'm not going to fake it. If my film deserves 1 star, let it have. The audience would tell them. And Nari yaar picture to matlab, I read, there's the exhibitors now, with world big and small because of your mobile.
Yeah.
And Facebook, they put stories of how Janwar was the biggest grosser ever. And, there was some very big superstars movie that was released a year back, two back. And he was talking about that film that did X amount of business. So this exhibitor said, in our times, when we released this movie called Janwar, it had more audience heads. More people watched that movie
more number of people.
in that 14 weeks that it ran in that theater than this movie, which is projecting 1,000 crores.
Right. So today if two people, one is a filmmaker wants to make a film who's new, nahi hai experience, contacts nahi hai, can they make it? What would you like to tell them? How should they go about it?
They need to study. It's very tragic, but it's all that you need to know, and I don't know, is to make a good film.
Good film. That's most important.
There's no
Ultimately,
other way.
it's that.
Good. What is a good film? A good film is not a good film which gets, you get influenced by वो क्या बोलते हैं? I used to go to Cannes and go to Oscars. That doesn't qualify for a good film. A good film is the one which the audiences come to watch in your cinema halls, and they praise your movie. You can go and buy reviews, pay for it. What's the big deal?
True. So true. So and for the actors, aaj bhi there are so many people coming to Mumbai, want to become actors. Is it easier? Is it tougher? Instagram pe audition karke they can do a lot of things. But what would be your advice?
Keep your convictions intact. I'm sure if luck favors you, you will find the right platform and the right start for yourself.
Right. That is great advice, sir. And always, like you said, you're honest and upfront, and I could just see through that. And
yeah, it unruffles, it ruffles rather the word, a lot of feathers. And a lot of people in the industry get very, very agitated by what I talk, and then they try to cut me out. But the truth is the truth, which is always going to last.
Right. Thank you, sir, for always being
My
like
pleasure.
that, and wish you best of luck. We will come back to you soon, because these kind of interviews, even I'm telling you, we don't get this is very rare that someone speaks from the heart.
Yeah, I have to, because this industry has given me a lot,
Yes.
my family a lot, and I owe this to all the viewers and to the industry itself.
Right. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Suneel Darshan, and you're watching this interview on Bollywood Hungama.